Welcome children to English Honeydew Unit 6. This is Geordie's Found, written by Marjorie Kinnan Rowling, Part 3. Movement directly in front of him startled him. Geordie was completely startled. It was a sudden feeling for him when he saw the little fawn. So that he tumbled backward. So when he saw the little fawn, he tumbled. He had fallen down at that time. The fawn lifted its face to his. So when he had fallen down, now the both were at the same level. The fawn lifted its face to his. He came closer to his face. It turned its head with a wide, wandering motion. He was thinking and shook him, and he just hit a slight shook him through with the stare of its liquid eyes. You know, the watery eyes of animals. So he was looking, he was staring with its liquid eyes. It was quivering. Quivering means shaking slightly. That fawn was shaking. It made no effort to rise or run. Usually, whenever animals, especially the young ones, see any strangers, their common behavior is they will run or hide somewhere. But this was so special that he did not run away from that place when he saw Geordie. Geordie could not trust himself to move. He could not believe what he was seeing. So he also couldn't move from there. He whispered, उसने धीरे से बोला, "It's me. It's me." He told this to the little fawn. It's me who is going to take care of you. The fawn lifted its nose, scenting him. Then he started smelling Geordie. He reached out one hand. So when he was trying to smell him, he reached out one hand and laid on the soft neck of the fawn. The touch made him delirious. So when Geordie touched the little fawn, he felt extremely excited, that is delirious. He moved forward on all fours. Geordie moved on all four legs, that is he crawled and he came close beside the little fawn. He put his arms around its body. A light convulsion passed over it. So when he moved his arms around the body of the fawn, a light shiver passed over it and it did not stir. Okay, when he brought it closer also, that fawn did not move, because he too felt a feeling that this person is not going to harm me, he is going to protect me. He stroked his sides as gently as though the fawn were a china deer. Geordie kept on moving his hand. He stroked the hands over that little fawn as if some china clay toy is there in front of him. You know, that small soft touch of china clay. So he felt that this is a china clay deer. So he kept on touching and stroking that little deer. He might break it. Okay, so he was taking it so carefully. He was handling it so carefully as if it is a china deer which can break any moment. Its skin was very soft. It was sleek, smooth and clean and had a sweet scent of grass. He rose slowly. He just moved up and lifted the fawn from the ground. Geordie lifted that fawn up from the ground. Its legs hung limply. जैसे ही उसने उसको उठाया, उसके जो पाँव हैं वो ऐसे ही लटक रहे थे. Then they were surprisingly long. Okay, when he saw the legs were really long, and he had to hoist. Hoist means he has to raise the fawn as high as possible under his arm. Why he has to raise? Because they were all dense bushes around. So he doesn't want that fawn to get hurt. He was afraid that it might kick and bleed at sight. Geordie first thought that this fawn may kick him or bleat, cry at the sight, and smell of its mother. So he might kick and cry when he sees a stranger because he knows only the smell of his mother. He skirted the clearing, he avoided that clearing and pushed his way into the thicket. Thicket means that clear area. It was difficult to fight through with his burden. Why he was burdened? Because he was carrying that fawn. So it was very difficult to move through that thick, dense bushes. The fawn's legs caught in the bushes and he could not lift his own with freedom. अभी उसका fawn का पाँव अटक गया था bushes में. So वो अपना पाँव भी हिला नहीं पाया because वो खुद freely घूम नहीं पा रहा था क्योंकि the fawn का पाँव bush में अटक गया था. He tried to shield his face. वो अपने fawn को face को ऐसे he was protecting, he was shielding its face from prickling vines जो कांटेदार plants होते हैं forest में. So he was protecting that fawn with those prickling vines. Its head bobbed, हिल रहा था, his head was moving with his stride. His heart thumped, his hearts were beating with marvel. Geordie's heart was beating with happiness that the fawn has accepted him as a friend. He reached the trail and finally he came out of that thick bushy forest and he could find a trail. Trail means, have you seen in jungles also there is a trail made, रास्ता बना होता है तो जो clear होता है कांटों वांटों से. So he reached the trail and walked as fast he could until he came to the intersection, a place where it was cutting the road to the road through which he can go to his house. He stopped to rest. He waited for some time and he took some rest because all these time he was carrying the little fawn and set the fawn down on its dangling legs. जो हिलने वाले legs थे उसके साथ उसने वो fawn को नीचे रखा. It wavered. Okay, so it was moving for some time. It looked at him and bleated. तो जैसे ही उसने उसको नीचे रखा, the fawn looked at Geordie and started crying like small babies they do, no, the same way. He said enchanted. उसने धीरे से उसके कान में बोला, I'll carry you after I get my breath. He remembered his father saying that a fawn would follow if it had first been carried. He remembered what his father told, that if you first carry an animal, it will definitely follow. A young animal is carried, it will definitely follow the master. He started away slowly. So he was taking what his father said. So his father said that if you carry once, that little young fawn will definitely follow you. So he left it and he was seeing what that fawn is going to do. So what he could find is it was really following him. He came back to it and stroked it. So Geordie went back to the fawn and stroked उसके हाथ सर पे रखा. The fawn stared at him. Okay, the fawn stared. He started looking at Geordie. He came back to it and stroked it and walked away again. वो वापस चलने लगा. It took a few wobbling steps, not straight. Here and there he started walking towards him and cried piteously. उसने थोड़ा चला and he started crying. It was willing to follow him. It belonged to him. Fawn belonged to Geordie. It was his own. He was light-headed with his joy. Why light-headed? Because now he was full of happiness as that fawn has finally got him. He wanted to fondle it. He wanted to stroke it, to run with and romp with it. He wanted to play. He wanted to stroke. He wanted to run with that little fawn. To call to it to come to him. He dared not alarm it, but उसको पता था, I should not frighten that young fawn. He picked it up and carried it in front of him over his two arms. Again उसने उठाया and kept it in his two arms. It seemed to him that he walked without effort. Now he could walk properly without any effort because there were no more bushes. The road was clear. His arms began to ache. उसको हाथ में दर्द हो रहा था. And he was forced to stop again because he was carrying that little fawn. His hand started paining again, so he took the rest. He stopped for a while. When he walked on, the fawn followed him at once. He allowed it to walk a little distance and then picked it up again. The distance home was nothing. He could have walked all day and into the night carrying it and watching it follow. Now the journey till his house was not at all long for him. Why? Because he was so happy to be with the company of that little fawn. If he wanted, he would have walked all through the day and night with that little fawn. And he was loving to watch that little fawn doing all the activities. He was wet with sweat, but a light breeze blew through the June morning. It was a summer morning, but that breeze has really given him some cooling him. The sky was as clear as spring water in a blue china cup. See how it is described. The things around it, the author is describing it so beautifully. That's the style of writing. He came to the clearing. It was fresh and green after the night's rain. You know, after rain, everything looks so fresh and green around you. He fumbled with the latch. He just lifted the latch, the bolt with which it is locked. So he has finally reached his house. So he just took the latch, fumbled with the latch, and was finally obliged. He was so happy to set down the fawn to manage it. He left the fawn down. Then he had an idea. He would walk into the house, into Penny's bedroom. He thought that I'll first go to my father's bedroom with the fawn walking behind him. But at the steps, the fawn balked. He refused to climb it because he's not used to the steps and all. He lived in a forest. He picked it up and went to his father. Penny lay with closed eyes. So he went to his father where his father was sleeping, or we can say he was lying down with his closed eyes. Geordie called, "Pa, look." Penny turned his head. Geordie stood beside him. The fawn clutched hard against him. Okay, the fawn was already so close to Geordie. It seemed to Penny that the boy's eyes were as bright as the fawn's. The father could see the happiness into the eyes of both the boy Geordie as well as fawn's eyes. He said, "I'm glad you found him." Geordie then went to the kitchen. The fawn wobbled after him. Uske piche piche chalne laga. A pan of morning's milk stood in the kitchen safe. The cream had risen on it. Okay, when you boil the milk, the cream lies on top of it. He skimmed the cream. He removed the cream into a jug. He poured the milk into a small gourd. You can see the picture here. It's just like a vessel. He held it out to the fawn. It buttered it. Okay, he just rejected it because it doesn't know how to drink the milk. Smelling the milk. Okay, he rejected it, but he was smelling it. He saved it precariously. Geordie took that gourd container and very carefully, without spilling, idhar udhar giraye bina, he took it to the floor. It would make nothing of the milk in the gourd. He dipped it. Now he knows that this little fawn is not able to drink the milk. So he dipped his fingers in the milk and thrust them into the fawn's soft, wet mouth. और उसने अपने हाथ उसके मुंह में डाला. It sucked greedily. When he withdrew them, जैसे उसने अपना हाथ हटाया, it bleated frantically. जोर जोर से रोने लगा and butted him. He started hitting him. He dipped his fingers again, and as the fawn sucked, he lowered them slowly into the milk. Okay, so he is taking so much care of that little fawn that he is ready to dip his own finger into the milk and he's feeding that little fawn. The fawn blew and sucked and snorted it. It stamped its small hooves impatiently. और जैसे ही वो लेट होता था वो फिंगर देने में तो the fawn used to stamp, okay, with its hooves. He used to stamp and tell him that I need more milk. As long as he held his fingers below the level of the milk, the fawn was content. Okay, so till the milk was almost over, now that little fawn is satisfied. Now he was fed well. It closed his eyes dreamily. It was ecstasy to feel its tongue against his hand. So it altogether gave a very different feeling to that little boy. Somewhat like a feeling of happiness. Its small tail flicked back and forth. Chota sa jo tail hai, you can see in the picture, it just moved here and there. The last of the milk vanished in a swirl of foam and gurgling. Okay, so it just vanished with some bubbling sound, and the full gourd was finished by that little fawn. A very beautiful story about a little boy and how he took care of that little fawn. Now we have comprehension check. Let's do the question answers. How did Geordie bring the fawn back home? Geordie picked up the fawn into his arms and proceeded to home. After some distance, he kept the fawn down and took rest. Later on, the fawn followed him. Thus, he brought the fawn back home. Geordie was filled with emotion after he found the fawn. Can you find at least 3 words or phrases which show how he felt? The phrases which show how Geordie felt after he found the fawn are as follows. The fawn shook him through with the stare of its liquid eye. The touch of the fawn made him delirious, as though the fawn were a china deer. How did the deer drink milk from the gourd? Geordie dipped his fingers in the milk. Then he left the fawn suck his fingers. He did so several times. Finally, the fawn drank off all the milk from the gourd. Why didn't the fawn follow Geordie up the steps as he had thought it would? The fawn did not know how to raise its feet to climb the steps. Now we have working with the text. Why did Benny Baxter allow Geordie to go find the fawn and raise it? Penny was convinced by Geordie's argument that it would be ungrateful if they left the fawn in the forest to starve. He realized that Geordie was right. What did Doc Wilson mean when he said, "Nothing in the world ever comes quite free"? Doc Wilson meant that Penny must pay back to the doe whom he had killed for his own gain by bringing up her fawn. How did Geordie look after the fawn after he accepted the responsibility for doing this? Geordie looked after the fawn like a mother. He made it drink milk with his fingers dipped in milk. This is how a mother feeds her baby. Geordie was glad that he had found the fawn. How does Geordie's mother react when she hears that he is going to bring the fawn home? Why does she react in this way? Geordie's mother turned her nose when she heard that he was going to bring back the fawn. She gasped with surprise because she did not want to see an animal in her home. Now, this is the end of today's session. In fact, this is the end of this beautiful chapter. So, you will be completing your homework. Write the comprehension check, question number 1, 2, 3, 4 in notebook. Then working with the text, question number 1, 2, 3, 4 in notebook. Do complete your work and be regular in your studies. Thank you and may God bless you.